fall of 2017, I laid in my bed after just waking up from sleeping for 14 hours straight. My eyes were crusty from leftover sleep, my throat was dry, and my cheeks streaked red from tears from the previous night. My voice was raspy as I looked at my sister and said, "Shania, I don't got this. I simply can't do this." You see, for 6 years, I relied on this phrase. You got this. It was the words that I related to, the ones I would search for in my lowest moments in my life. However, 2 years ago, I didn't have it, or so I thought. My sister looked at me and said, "I know you, Shay. Pull your big girl pants on. You got this." And I realized she was right. I do got this. From the moment I transferred schools, applied to 2 more jobs, and moved back home, I felt like myself again. It was not till someone looked at me and used my phrase, the one I associate with as being a rock in my darkest times, that I finally started to believe in myself again. So what's your phrase? What word or words help you to believe in yourself? To know what your phrase is, we must figure out how to find it. To do this, you must try and think of encouraging words you use often. Maybe it's a phrase you have on your laptop, a tattoo you have, an agenda book that has little phrases to push you through the month. Whatever you use, make sure it resonates with you, whether that be anything from YOLO to taking the road less traveled. For example, I figured out my phrase when I was 16 years old after my mom made fun of me for always saying, "I got this," even though half the time I never really did. However, it stuck with me. Now the phrase, "you got this," is seen everywhere around my room. I have it on my agenda book, a tattoo template that I plan on getting December after I graduate, and even a little bracelet that has it written on a charm. What started out as something to say when I thought I had gotten something turned into a phrase that I carry with me every day. You see, it is so easy these days to get caught up in the negativity in today's society. Suicide rates are continually rising. Depression and anxiety are found in almost over half of the population, yet we continue to let it control us. Now, I am not saying that finding what your phrase is will cure your depression or anxiety, but it will have a large impact on yourself. But it did have a large impact on myself. I let 3 simple words become my little encouragement I gave to myself when no one wanted to or could. I whispered it before presentations, I shared it with my friends, and plastered it all over so that it constantly reminded me that I do in fact got this. I may not get it good. Heck, I probably half the time do not even get it. However, my confidence is way better than it was in 2017. 2 years ago, I was ready to let everything go and confine myself strictly to my bed. If I woke up, okay. If not, oh well. I did not care until I remembered my phrase. So find your phrase, hold on to it, and let it help in the process of building you up. It's really rough.
No, that was really good. Now I have to make Okay. So general feedback is first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think your opening is really, really good, and it's like a good personal story. So I like that. Definitely keep that. What were you like getting up for?
Well, I was supposed to have class that day, if I remember right, at like 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And I woke up at like 2 p.m. So basically, like, I just stopped going to class. Like, I was at the point where I was on academic probation at Purdue, and I was just like, I don't care anymore. So getting up for something, not necessarily. Should I have been getting up? Yes.
Okay.
But it was like, I fell into, like, I was, the doctor told me that I was clinically depressed and I had general anxiety disorder.
Mm-hmm.
So basically what that meant was that I didn't want to get up. I didn't sleep well. I didn't eat well. I was like eating Oreos and ramen noodles for like supper every single night. So I slept like a good majority of the day and took naps like words.
That sounds like my freshman year. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Mhm.
I got mono and it was
Yeah.
just like not okay.
Yeah. So I didn't know if I should like mention a little bit more about that. Like,
I think you should, because
Yeah.
like just having like more background, it would
Mhm.
help too. And like that's like really personal stuff.
Yeah.
And I think like all the TED Talks that I like the most are the ones that are very personal. And like I don't know if you're comfortable sharing that with the class, but
I mean, I talk about it a lot, so like, but I just didn't want to get up and then be like, no. That's why I worded it at the bottom. Like with my conclusion, I said I wanted to let everything go. I didn't want to just be like, I had the pills, like I had taken them,
yeah.
I didn't want to just like throw that on everyone.
Right.
So,
So maybe you could like find a good way to like word it, but I think it would be good if you did include that, just because it'll be more personal and people like
relate to me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Especially like me, I didn't have like the same thing, but like
Mhm.
I have an experience similar to that I like was
Yeah.
able to relate to. So then people like I feel if you're more personal, then people can relate to it more.
Okay.
Timing, I don't really remember how long you went.
I don't either. Did it really say on there? Where are we at right now?
6 minutes.
Ooh,
So-
I'm probably way under time.
Yeah, so definitely make it a little longer. But it's a really good starting point. Like, it was really good.
Yeah.
What else? Maybe. So, what is like your goal for the audience? Like, the takeaway.
To find your phrase, but I can't figure out like how to fully like, cause like I was getting there, but I don't like ever get over that hump of like
Right.
I don't know. So like just basically like finding that moment where you're like not finding that moment, but finding those words that may like help you. Because I
Yeah.
know like a lot of people have like words like tattooed or like they have it all over their laptop.
Mm-hmm.
So I want people to realize that those words like carry a lot of meaning with them and can help them in like their darkest times.
Yeah. So maybe like don't say like the point of my presentation is,
Yeah.
but like make that more known that like that's your point of it is like because like I knew it was finding your phrase, but like I think you could develop that more and like maybe say like why you think it, well I guess you do, but like just go more in depth about why you think it's so important to have a phrase and like how it can be anything.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know, talk to other people and ask them what their phrase is, like things like that.
I thought about like pulling like different phrases like that people use.
Yeah.
So like, and I kind of mentioned it was like YOLO, and I know a lot of people don't use that, but and like taking the road less travel. I know that's like one of my sister's favorite ones.
Mm-hmm.
Is because that like pushes her to like do something that she wouldn't normally do.
Yeah.
So maybe like listing a few and then describing like what's the meaning behind them
Yeah.
per se.
Like, well, I have this. I wear this bracelet every day. It says "Be kind." So that's not like. Well, I guess that would be my phrase.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah, I feel like not everyone has one, but like, kind of does. So maybe emphasize more why you think it's important to have a phrase,
Okay.
and then maybe mention how you like in the beginning with your story and stuff. Mention how you were at Purdue. I don't know if you said that. I know you said you were transferring, but and I don't know why that kind of like intrigued me.
Yeah.
So maybe say like you went to Purdue and like.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you from Muncie?
No.
Because you said you came home.
I live 30 minutes away, so it's
Okay.
home to me, yeah. Because I've been in Muncie since I was like really little.
Yeah.
And like instead of going to like Noblesville, I go to Muncie.
Yeah.
So that's like why I like consider it home.
Where are you from?
Frankton, Indiana. Yeah. I don't know why I said Indiana then.
So yeah, I would include that maybe.
Okay.
And then maybe also go in depth more about like how those words like got you out of that dark time.
Yeah.
So like I know you mentioned I don't know, like And, like, maybe talk about how, like, it helps you today, too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when you're having a bad day, you just tell yourself, oh, you got this.
Yeah. Okay, that works.
Okay. Then, line by line.
Mm-hmm. So we'll just go, like, back through my speech, and we'll just fix it, like, line by line.
Okay.
Or the way I did it with Zach was we paused every syllable lines. Like, we kind of went back and forth. So we'd, like, pause. But you can just tell me to be like, wait, let's go.
Okay.
There you go. So, should I say, in the fall of 2017, I laid in my bed at Purdue,
Yes.
or I laid in my bed in my dorm room at Purdue, or just at Purdue?
Maybe dorm room, because then people will understand that you were, like, a freshman. Like
Yeah.
a freshman.
Yeah. I laid in my bed at Purdue in my dorm room.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how that sounds. In the fall of 2017, I laid in my bed at Purdue in my dorm room after just waking up from sleeping for 14 hours straight.
Yeah.
Does that flow better?
Mm-hmm.
Should I say, like, it was 2 a.m.? Not 2 a.m. It was 2 p.m. It's like 2 p.m. 3 p.m. It was later in the afternoon. Should I, like, mention that? Like,
Yeah.
later? So, my next line is, my eyes were crusty from leftover sleep. My throat was dry and my cheeks streaked red from tears the previous night. My voice was raspy as I looked at the clock and realized it was 2 p.m. I looked over at my sister and said in a raspy voice. I don't necessarily have to have raspy voice.
No, I think you should keep that. It makes it, like, you know.
Yeah.
I would emphasize more. I don't remember exactly what you said about how your cheeks, like, stained red or something or crying. Maybe, like, adjust your voice a little bit in that, because, like, that's a really cool line. But
Yeah.
I didn't notice that the first time through.
Okay. So, in the fall of 2017, I laid in my bed at Purdue in my dorm room after just waking up from sleeping for 14 hours straight. My eyes were crusty from leftover sleep, my throat was dry, and my cheeks streaked red from tears the previous night. So, like, kind of...
Yeah. That was good.
Okay.
Maybe you say whatever, from the previous night.
Yeah.
Maybe just, like, pause more and, like, let
Okay.
them just, like, I don't know, hear that
Feel
more.
that emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, we've all been there.
Yeah.
So, okay. And then I say, my voice was raspy as I looked at my sister and said, Shania, I don't got this. I simply can't do this.
Do you have a twin sister?
Mhm.
Yeah. So was she, like, in your dorm?
So she went to, so this is actually, like, my sophomore year.
Oh, okay.
Because it, like, occurred during, like, my spring of my freshman year.
Uh-huh.
And then went into my sophomore year. And she was a senior at Purdue.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to explain that. I was just very curious.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I think this is actually 2016. I need to change that. Would it be 2016? No, okay. Whatever.
Well, you're a senior right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was a freshman fall of 2017.
So
So
then
that,
I would have been a sophomore.
yeah.
Then that's right. Okay. And then I say, you see, for 6 years, I relied on this phrase. You got this. So
Okay.
do I need to add more after I say, Shania, I don't got this. I simply can't do this?
Yeah, maybe there is where you could put, like, what's after that? You talk about your phrase.
Yeah.
So maybe, like, talk about why, like, you thought you didn't have it.
Okay. I'll just write that real quick. And then try to think of something, like, off the top of my head. So I could be like, I was failing half my classes, eating Oreos and ramen for all my meals throughout the day, and binge watching Bob's Burgers.
Good show.
Yeah, it is really good. It's just really bad because I now associate it with that dark time.
Yeah.
So I could be like, Shania, I don't got this. I simply can't do this.
What do you have as your line after that?
You see, for 6 years, I relied on this phrase.
I think maybe keep that.
Okay.
And then talk about why you don't got it.
Okay.
So, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay, let me say that.
I think that's good. Talk about the Oreos, the ramen.
The Jimmy John's stale bread dipped in mayonnaise.
Oh my god.
It was bad. I gained 70 pounds. Like 60, 70 pounds. Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'll show you like before and after pictures after we get done with this. So I could be like, you see, for 6 years I relied on this phrase, you got this. But in fact, I did not have it. I was eating ramen and Oreos every day for lunch and dinner. I was never even up for breakfast because I was sleeping at odd hours of the day. And I was failing half my classes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's really good.
But yet, so I could be like, but yet it was the words that I related to, the ones I would search for in my lowest moments in life. Moments like these, where I didn't want to get up out of bed. Does that make sense? Okay. And then I say, however, 2 years ago, I didn't have it, or so I thought.
That's good.
Okay. My sister looked at me and said, I know you, Shay. Pull your big girl pants on. You got this. And I then realized she was right. I do got this. And then from that moment, I transferred schools, applied to 2 more jobs, and moved back home. It was not till someone looked at me and used my own phrase, the one I associate with as being a rock in my darkest times, that I finally started to believe in myself again. Is there any more I'd like to add to that?
Maybe say like it's obvious, I guess, that you transferred to Ball State.
Yeah, but just say, that way people know.
Yeah.
I don't know. See, I struggled with whether or not to put applied to 2 more jobs. Because I was already working at Cracker Barrel when I was at Purdue. And then when I got home, I started working 2 other jobs. So I worked 3 jobs total.
Great, how do you do?
Keeps me really busy. So I don't. Because I refuse to take medication. So
Yeah.
it's something that, it's like my therapy.
You're like really similar to me. It's really kind of freaking me out. I have to keep myself like so busy. Otherwise, like.
Oh, I'll just lay around and not do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm freaked out. Okay. Yeah, that maybe. I don't really know if you need to say that like. You got 2 jobs. I think later on, maybe in your speech, say like what you do today is like you have 3 jobs. You go to school, you keep yourself busy.
Yeah.
Because, like, at that part, I just don't think it's very, like, relevant.
Okay. So just say, from that moment, I transferred to Ball State and moved back home.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Then I could be like, I finally was feeling like myself again. It was not until someone looked at me and used my phrase, the one I associate with as being a rock in my darkest times, that I finally started to believe in myself. Should I say a light in my darkest times? So I feel like a rock. It's just.
What do you say?
I say the one I associate with as being a rock in my darkest times.
Yeah, I would say light.
Okay. That's what I was thinking. Because I like read that and I was like, you can't see a rock in the darkest of times. And then, so then I go on to my next section where I'm like, so what's your phrase? And I feel like that's just so like, okay, we're on to this now.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I need a better transition.
Okay, can you repeat it again?
So what's your phrase? Or the one above it going into, okay. It was not until someone looked at me and used my phrase, the one I associate with as being a light in my darkest of times, that I finally started to believe in myself again. So what's your phrase?
I think that's good, like, but just maybe pause in between it. And, like, so what's your phrase? And then what do you say?
And then I say, what word or words help you believe in yourself?
Yeah. No, I think that's good. I would just say pause in between.
Pause. Okay. That's why I like having it on my phone.
Yeah, that's smart.
I read off of it, like, really bad. But at the same time, like, this is my rough draft, so, like...
Yeah.
But, okay. And then I say, to know what your phrase is, we must figure out how to find it. I just feel like that's just so...
What do you say? To know what your phrase is, you must figure out how to find it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that should be changed. I don't really know what to...
Would it be good to put the examples there? Like the examples of different phrases? Okay, so take that out. And I could say, here are some phrases that I know have worked for people, or still continue to work for people, and like kind of describe them, how they relate back to that person. So if I say like YOLO, that like helps people to remind themselves that you really only do live once, you only have a time. There's a really good quote I could use too, because I could use YOLO and then be like, because it's something like, not like, I want to think Tim McGraw, like live like you were dying. But it's like something of the sense where you can't live every day like it's your last. You have to live every day like it's something like that. I really like it. I could find it.
Yeah, find it and put it on there. I like quotes.
So then I will probably have to do this, you must try and think of encouraging words to use often.
Out?
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't finish my sentence.
That was good.
Yeah. So then after that, it would be, so examples of phrases, and then maybe it's a phrase you have on your laptop, a tattoo you have, an agenda book that has little phrases to push you through the month. Whatever you use, make sure that it resonates with you. Is that good?
I like the examples on your computer.
Yeah. So then, for example, I figured out my phrase when I was 16 years old after my mom made fun of me for always saying, I got this, even though half the time I never really did. However, it stuck with me. Now the phrase, you got this, is seen everywhere around my room. I have it on agenda books, a tattoo template that I plan on getting next December, and even a little bracelet that has it written on a charm.
That's good. And it's good that you're giving like examples of where you like have it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wouldn't change anything about that.
No. Okay. And then I say, what started out as something to say when I thought I had gotten something turned into a phrase that I carry with me every day.
Can you say that again?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. What started out as something to say when I thought I had gotten something? Should it be what started as something to say while joking with my mom? Because that will like tie back to my example. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes more sense what you have.
Okay, what started out as something to say when I was joking with my mom turned into a phrase that I carried with me every day. And then my next one goes into, you see, it is so easy these days to get caught up in the negativity in today's society. Suicide rates are continually rising. Depression and anxiety are found in almost over half of the population. yet we continue to let it control us. Would that be where I could say,
Yeah, you could say,
I
like,
let it control me?
I was thinking that, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how long I was. Well, about a year. Yeah. So I put, yet we continue to let it control us. I let it control me and still struggle some days with it.
Yeah.
And then what would I say after that? Because right now I am not saying that finding what your phrase is will cure your depression or anxiety, but what it did have a large impact on myself.
First, maybe talk about how you let it control you.
Okay.
And then,
So it could be like, I let it control me by keeping me in bed, by forcing me to only see the dark in the light, or by forcing me to only see the darkness rather than to see. Oh. I know what you're meaning though when you say how I let it control me.
yeah. Like, maybe say, like, I was sleeping in bed, like, until 2 p.m. every day. Like,
Yeah.
say I gained, like, however many pounds. Like,
It controlled me by telling me to go to sleep even when it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then telling me to wake back up when it was 11 a.m. That's how long I slept one time.
from 3 till 11 a.m.
Yeah.
That's a crazy.
I like it when there's presentations and they repeat themselves. So like, I let it control me by this. I let it control me by this. I let it
Yeah.
control me by this.
Yeah, you should do that. That's cool.
Because it keeps people like, and they're like, I don't want it to be too repetitive, but I feel like 2 or 3 times will be like really good.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And then I said, now I am not saying that finding what your phrase is will cure your depression or anxiety. It certainly, so I'm going to add in there, it certainly didn't cure mine, but it did have a large impact on how I see myself today.
Yeah.
I let 3 simple words become my little encouragement that I gave to myself when no one wanted to or could. I whispered it before presentations, I shared it with my friends, and plastered it all over so that it constantly reminded me that I do in fact got this. I may not get it good, heck, I probably half the time do not even get it. However, my confidence is way better than it was in 2017. Is that good?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wish there was more to that. Like however, my confidence is way better than it was in 2017. Should I be like, however, after?
Could say how it's better. Like,
Yeah.
good examples are good.
Just be like, however, my confidence. I know my confidence is better because I sleep from 10 to 8, like, or I could just be like, because I sleep within regular hours.
You could go back to the things where you said,
Yeah,
like,
and then like tell them how that's changed.
yeah,
And so being like, I don't hate what I see in the mirror every day. Yeah, okay. So okay. And then my next one is kind of my ending, which I know needs to be more. 2 years ago, I was ready to let everything go and confine myself strictly to my bed. If I woke up, okay. If not, alright. I did not care until I remembered my phrase. So find your phrase, hold on to it, and let it help in the process of building you up.
Trying to think what else could happen.
I did not care until I remembered my phrase. I woke up okay. No, alright. It could be like, it amazes me how 3 little words completely altered my future.
Maybe say my life.
Yeah. So, it's amazing how 3 little words carry so much weight and altered my life for the better.
Mm-hmm.
I did not care until I remembered my phrase. And then, so find your phrase, hold on to it, and let it help in the process of building you up. I just feel like there could be more there.
Can you repeat it?
Yeah. I did not care until I remembered my phrase. So find your phrase, hold on to it, and let it help in the process of building you up. I'd be like, I know many of you may not. I know all of us have our own demons.
Yeah, you could say, like, maybe say something how it's important for you to have, like, your own words and, like, not, I don't know, copy someone else's words. Like, have words that, like, resonate well with you.
Yeah.
And, like, have a deeper meaning than what appears on the outside.
Yeah. Love that. I mean, I'll add all that stuff in, and I think it'll be pretty. That should be 5 minutes. Oh, I don't have my PowerPoint done yet.
What are you going to do for that?
I think simplicity is best in this case, since I feel like a lot of the information is coming from like my storytelling. So I haven't really figured out because I've like tried to. I had a PowerPoint, but then I hated it, so I didn't want to present it. But I thought maybe like having like some pages, like when I talk about like depression and anxiety, how those pages could be maybe like gray. And then, like, the pages where I talk about, like, the quote, you got this, purple, because that's my favorite color, and that's the color that I, like, use it with, like, what I think about.
Yeah.
I think of it in purple. I don't know why. So, but, yeah. I figured just, like, probably not even that many slides, probably, like, 4, if that.
Yeah.
So.
I like when, like, TED Talks and stuff don't have,
too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I was going to put a picture of myself from Purdue from 2017.
Okay, I was going to suggest actually maybe doing that.
I could. It's so embarrassing.
Like,
But
I get it because my freshman year, I gained like 30 or 40 pounds too, and like it was not good. Like, I get embarrassed like showing people like what I looked like.
Oh, yeah.
But like, I think it's a good way to show people like how far you've come and like how the words like helped you, and people are gonna be like really curious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it's not like I don't want people to feel like you have to like lose weight to feel better about yourself.
Right.
But I wasn't healthy. I was eating literally like ramen, Oreos, day-old Jimmy John bread dipped in mayonnaise. Like they knew my order at Jimmy John's, so I had to go to a different Jimmy John's.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was bad. So I don't want people to feel like, you know, I'm like, find your phrase, lose weight. Like,
I don't think people will think that because
since I'm saying like me, that's what I like.
Yeah, and like you said that you were eating like Oreos and like
And
like-
people obviously know, like,
that's not healthy,
Healthy.
and like obviously you're not eating Oreos and Dale Jimmy
Yeah.
John bread now. Like, so I just think it's like, I think you should have a picture.
okay. I can do a picture with, like, say, like, a picture, like, on this side of, like, me. And
Yeah.
then, like, a black screen. And then, like, when I talk about, like, how it's different now for me, have that same picture. And then the new picture.
Yeah.
That works.
You could do like, well, when you like need a part for a slide or whatever, where
Yeah.
you put it, you could do like the picture, and you should do like gray,
Yeah.
because that's,
Oh, yeah, I like that.
and then you could do you now in purple.
Yeah.
So
That'd be cool. And then people would, like, realize that, like, those two colors, like, go together.
mhm.
Okay, yeah, I like that. How long is our video at?
36 minutes.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. Oh no, I have like modeling that we have to.
Yeah, modeling. I don't really get.
You have to like show me if like, because I was standing in place. I know that, but I can like go. I can read through that again, like read my presentation,
Okay.
and you can like stop me and tell me like if I need to like move from that like
Okay.
position.
Okay.
So I'll like stand over here because this is where I'll be standing when I. Well, I don't know. Should I be in like the middle when I start my presentation?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then I
Yeah.
could be like, in the fall of 2017, I laid in my bed at Purdue in my dorm room after just waking up from sleeping for 14 hours straight. And then I can maybe have like a picture of like myself up there or something. I have a really bad picture of me like just bawling my eyes out with like my thumbs up like this. So bad.
You like.
I could put it on there.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, because then I say, my eyes were crusty from leftover sleep, my throat was dry, and my cheeks streaked red from tears the previous night. My voice was raspy as I looked at my sister and said, Shania, I don't got this. I simply can't do this. You see, for 6 years, I relied on this phrase, you got this, when in fact, I didn't have it. Because I was eating Dale Jimmy John bread, Oreos, and ramen for lunch and dinner. I was sleeping through all of my classes.
Maybe at this part you can like walk a little bit.
And, like go like this.
Yeah.
Like sleeping through all of my classes. So I'd be like ramen, Oreos.
Yeah.
Sleeping through all of my classes and practically failing half of my courses. It was the words that I related to, the ones I would search for in my lowest moments in life. Ooh, that didn't tie together. I'll have to tie them together somehow. Those last sentences.
What is it?
Well, I end with like saying like talking about how I didn't have it, and then it says it was the words that I related to, the ones I would search for in my lowest moments in life. I guess I could say that, and then I say, however, 2 years ago, I didn't have it, because that. Okay. My sister looked at me and said, I know you, Shay. Pull your big girl pants on. You got this. And I realized she was right. I do got this. From the moment I transferred to Ball State University and moved back home, I was feeling like myself again. It was not until someone looked at me and used my phrase, the one I associate with as being a light in my darkest of times, that I finally started to believe in myself again. I can have like a slide that says you got this and then like a light behind it.
Yeah.
With like a black screen. Okay. So what's your phrase? What word or words help you to believe in yourself? Maybe it's a phrase you have on your laptop, a tattoo you have, an agenda book that has little phrases to push you through the month. Whatever you use, make sure that it resonates with you. For example, I figured out my phrase when I was 16 years old after my mom made fun of me for always saying, I got this, even though half the time I never really did. However, it stuck with me. Now the phrase, "you've got this," is seen everywhere in my room. I have it on my agenda book, a tattoo template that I plan on getting next December, and even a little bracelet that has it written on a charm. What started out as something to say when I was joking with my mom turned into a phrase that I carry with me every single day. You see, it is so easy these days to get caught up in the negativity of today's society. Suicide rates are continually rising. Depression and anxiety are found in almost over half the population, yet we continue to let it control us. I let it control me, and still struggle some days with it. I let it control me by giving me poor
I think for this part you should come in the middle and maybe like when you list things off, kind of like come forward a little bit.
So like walk like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if that's weird or not. Let me see. Like, I don't know. I like when like people walk forward, you know?
Yeah. Plus I know I'll be back here anyways, like this is not, but I'll be closer to my PowerPoint. So I would be really like this. So I let it control me by, how do I want to word that? By letting me sleep. I guess for right now, I would just be like, I let it control me by this. I'm going to talk about it. I let it control me by this. And I let it control me by this.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, now I'm not saying that finding what your phrase is will cure your depression or anxiety. It certainly didn't cure mine, but it did have a large impact on how I see myself today. I let 3 simple words become my little encouragement I gave to myself when no one wanted to or even could. I whispered it before presentations. I shared it with my friends and plastered it all over so that it constantly reminded me that I do in fact got this. I may not get it good. Heck, I probably half the time do not even get it. However, my confidence is way better than it was in 2017. What if I started like up here and like talked back when I was like talking about like how it let it control me?
Yeah.
And then like as I'm like I can go back and go. But my confidence is way better because of this. And it's way better because of this. And it's way better because of this.
Yeah.
Because like, it's like almost like bad, or so to say. Okay. And then I could be like, 2 years ago, I was ready to let everything go and confine myself strictly to my bed. If I woke up, okay. If not, alright. It's amazing how 3 little words carry so much weight and altered my life for the better. I did not care until I remembered my phrase. So find your phrase, hold on to it, and let it help in the process of building you up. And then I'll put more of the importance of phrase within that. But was it good, like walking back and forth?
Yeah.
Did it seem like I was pacing too much?
No, I wouldn't move back and forth too much because then it might seem like you're amazing. But I kind of like when you come over here and then go back to the middle.
Yeah.
And I really think you should like come forward, go back, come forward. That would be cool.
Okay.
And what else? You got like 3.
Yeah.
Do that. I like that. And then it's hard because like you have your phone, but like I feel like you can do a lot of hand gestures.
I talk with my hands all the time. So usually when I talk, like this is like my hands all like the time. I don't know why. So I'm sure like
it'll just happen.
Yeah, naturally. At least I hope it will. Because usually when I'm up here, I don't like going to the left side if I don't have more people over here. I like standing right here. Like I'll be fine just standing right here. And that's fine if I stand here the whole time.
Yeah.
But if I'm like going back and forth, I feel like I turn my back too much.
Yeah.
Because sounds so stupid. I'm right-handed. I'm supposed to like be able to like show my body like as I'm presenting. But ever since, so I did a pageant back in like 2016. But I just go to my left because even when I like walk, I'm able to like walk better like this rather than when I go this way because it's just like awkward for me.
Oh my gosh,
like,
it's so funny.
So I don't know why. So if you see me just going from like here to here, that's why. Because I can't like force myself to go back. I don't know. I feel like if I cross into that way, that might be better. I don't know. I'll probably just stay over here and like venture back and forth.
If you don't know where to go, I would say go in the middle.
No.
Because, like, in TED Talks, you know how they have, like, the circle rug and, like...
And they, like, stand there.
Yeah.
And eyes are on them. And sometimes, like, they'll move forward, like, over here.
Yeah.
To, like, make a point. And then
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think you need to be moving around, like, too much. I think you had, like, a good amount of movement.
Okay, good. That works. There might be a class in here. Where are we at? Oh, shoot. We need 10 more minutes.
Oh, they don't have class in here.
I hope not. That wouldn't be good.
Developing a plan. The coach should guide the speaker in priorities and strategies to make improvements.
Guess I do have a class.